Good evening. Neighbors react tonight in Massena after state police say it is investigating two suspicious deaths inside a home on Beach Street. Here's 7 News reporter Chad Charette.
When officers with the Massena Police Department found the bodies of two men in this Beach Street home, Kathy Rush was right next door.
Heard nothing. Of course, you heard those dogs. They're barking like that all the time in here. And the TV was on, and I was probably out in the kitchen when I just happened to look out the window and said, what's going on here now?
It happened Monday afternoon around 1 o'clock, and by the time police arrived at the home of Anthony and Cheryl Truax, two men whose names have not yet been released by police were dead after suffering gunshot wounds.
I just can't fathom something like this happening in this neighborhood. Anywhere, for example, but this neighborhood is so quiet, and it's horrible.
Even though police haven't confirmed any names, Rush is sure she knows the men who died, and she's devastated.
He was always over here with my husband, talking about football and pick on you when he saw you out in the yard and quit making so much noise over there, that kind of thing. But just super nice people, and I can't believe this happened.
According to state police, this was an isolated incident, so there's currently no threat to the public. An autopsy was scheduled for today, December 3rd. Chad Charette, 7 News.